Well, hello again. This is Diamond from Diamond Shine Soap. Guys, I'm excited to see you today. Today we are going to make a colorful Easter style soap spring. I call it like a spring soap. Now guys, before we get into this video, I want to let you know that the whole PDF written recipe is located in the description box in my Patreon. Now when it comes down to the soap recipes, they are always free on the channel. I will give you guys a soap recipe, but here's the thing, make sure you have your pen and your paper ready to write it down. All right, so this is a colorful spring soap, and these will be the embeds that we are using. I'm loving the colors. It's hot pink, lime green, blue, and I do have some yellow ones, but I didn't use those yellow ones. But I am going to make a bigger batch of soap. I just wanted to make a small batch just to see how I wanted to lay it out for you guys, and then I'm going back. All right, so I did use like a nice spring fragrance. This is called apple sugared apple. Okay, it's a sugared apple type by Bath and Body Works. If you Google sugared apple fragrance oil, there are a few companies that still sell it. I got mine from Maple Street, and I believe they only sell it in bulk now, so it's not really available. Now this is the oils that we'll be using today. We'll be using some olive oil, we'll be using some shea butter, and let me give you guys the exact measurements. Okay, so you need 7.96 ounces of lye, 17.79 ounces of water. For your butters, you can use any kind of butter, shea butter, mango butter, something like that. For that, you use 4.23 ounces. Also, you need 21.15 ounces of canola oil, or you can do half and half. Split that, olive oil and canola, just to cut the cost. For your bubbles, we're going to use 3.17 ounces of castor oil, but just make sure that you put about 2 to 3 tablespoons of sugar inside of your lye water to increase the bubbles as well. We're going to use vegetable shortening, and you can get that from the supermarket. We're going to use 5.29 ounces of that. And for your coconut oil, we can't cut that out. We're going to need that for bubbles. We're going to use 10.58 ounces of that. Also, for your light oil, we're going to use sunflower oil, or you can use grapeseed. I like sunflower better. You can get it from Walmart as well. And we're going to use 10.58 ounces of that as well. Now, I didn't do any kind of like stearic acid, anything to harden this recipe, because if I did that, it would be pretty hard to pipe. And so, listen, we don't need any of that. All right, so go ahead and take and mix everything together. Remember, lye safety. Use your gloves, wear long sleeve shirts. Just in case anything pop up at you, wear your glasses, your goggles, protect your eyes. And so when it came down to this particular recipe, this one thickened up pretty fast. Now, you're not going to use the same recipe. I gave you guys a better recipe that I use that's a little bit more thin. The recipe that I was using, I actually put stearic acid into it, and that was a bad idea because I was wanting it to be a little bit more fluid. And so as you guys can see, it reached the trace very fast because of the amount of coconut oil and all of the butters and all of that kind of stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to move pretty fast with this soap. Now that it has reached a full trace, as you can see, we're going to go ahead and we are going to add our vanilla color stabilizer. Now I'm going to be using this color stabilizer on a 1-to-1 ratio. Now, when it comes down to buying this, yes, it is very expensive to buy, but I found a company where I'm able to get it under $7, and everybody else charge a whole lot a pound. I mean, like almost $20 a pound, seriously. I mean, that is ridiculous, but I can't put it on YouTube. But if you are a part of the Patreon, even on the $5 level, it is in there and it is accessible to you, and you can order it, and you know, that's that. Listen, I can't put it on YouTube because if I do that, then it's not going to be available for us, and they're going to see an influx of orders because people are not going to believe it's this price. And when they see those influx of orders, most of the time they raise the price because they say, hey, this price must be too low if people are buying it up like that. So you're going to add some of it to this. Now, one thing I can tell you is when it got in there, it did kind of turn gray. Now, I had my stabilizer sitting for about a cool 8 months. So sometimes that may be the result when it sits so long because it kind of crystallized, and if you shake it up you'll feel like rocks in it and stuff, because mine sat for a very long time and I had it open in the air at one point before I put a new top on it. So that's what happened. I left it exposed to air. The gray will go away, but you will need to lighten it up with some titanium dioxide if you have some. That will turn the soap bright white. Now for me, I ended up piping the soap like a blue and white color, so I really didn't need the titanium dioxide, and I colored the soap, so I didn't need to put the titanium dioxide in at all. But if you plan on putting it inside your whip, yeah, because my fragrance had about 2.45% vanillin inside of it, and that was enough to make it turn brown, light, like a light one, like a light tan, but I didn't want the discoloration at all. However you choose to color yours, this is the time where I separate my batch and I color it. So I'm going to be using this bubblegum pink, I believe it's bubblegum retro, something like that. It's bubblegum, and it comes from Brambleberry, and it's very light. This color is like, oh my God, it is so bright. This is the brightest pink that I have ever purchased. Now, it was bright in my melt and pour, and usually I'll think, okay, melt and pour, not cold process soap, because of course it goes through a different process. But no, as you guys can see, it's super bright, and I didn't use much at all. So I'll link this mica into the Patreon, but if you guys who are not on Patreon want to just Google it, you can go inside of Brambleberry's website, type in bubblegum whatever bubblegum mica they have, that's the actual one. All right, because they only have one. So yes, I'm hand stirring it in because it thickened up on me pretty quick, and the more you use a stick blender, the thicker it gets. And then we're going to add our tennis ball. Now that came from Mad Mica's, I believe it's called Tennis Ball Breaker. I think that's the name, but that's the only tennis ball they have. So you can get it from there. You want to just pour your first layer. Now, as you can see, my layer was pretty thick. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize it. I was like, oh my God. I hardened up this soap not thinking that I was going to use it as a soap that I would just be piping and stuff like that. So that, just put it like this, I ended up making some hot process soap during the process because it got so hard. Yes, I have some apple hot process soap. I love hot process soap, so I don't have a problem with it, but I'm more so going towards the cold process because you can make more, and also I like to decorate my soap, so cold process is where I'm at with it. Now, so that you don't have completely flat lines, you want to go ahead and just kind of take the soap in the silicone mold and just use the spoon to go around and just kind of mess up that flat layer and kind of make waves inside of it, so to speak. Now let's go ahead and start adding our green. Now this is a pretty light color as well, and I give it to them on that. Now I was not trying to go with such fluorescent beautiful colors, but hey, let me tell you something, it looks so pretty in the embeds. I love it. All right, so I'm just mixing this in by hand as much as possible because like I told you guys, this stuff thickened up on me so quick. And so for that reason, let's go ahead and plop this into the mold. instead of decorating the soap inside of the mold, I decided to cut the bars and decorate them individually. The reason why I decided to do it this way is because I didn't have this sectioned off to where as though I would put it on my soap cutter and not cut my embed. So this was the best way for me to do it. It's different with my 5-pound molds because I usually, I got those. I use those a lot. I mark on them, but I can't mark on this particular mold. So here are my individual bars being piped and decorated. First things first, you want to grab a piping bag and a piping tip. You want to go in a circular motion and make sure that you keep everything close together. If you don't do that, it will fall apart, when you're putting it in your saran wrap or however you choose to package it. So just make sure everything is packed closely together. Okay, so now that I have finished this part, I am going to go ahead and add my embeds to the top. So I just decided to use my 2 eggs on the side, and in the middle I add a bunny or a chicken or whatever is the biggest piece from the second silicone mold, because it's 2 silicone mold. One is the eggs, the other one is like chickens and just mixed Easter decoration. So I just put the biggest one in the middle, and I pretty much used the same colors except for the blue. Now the soap frosting, I decided to go with white after I just messed up so many times because of those 2 colors that I used that was so bright. It was almost impossible to add a 3rd color. So this is what I came out with. I actually like it better this way, and I got a lot of compliments on it. So I'm going to keep decorating this for you guys, and then we are done. Now, guys, if you love this video, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to check out the Patreon, and that is in the description box as well, guys. Now, these soaps came out pretty cool, I might add. And guess what, y'all? This is the final look. Oh, my God. Let me know how you like them in the comments.